Let's talk about DreamHack Dallas. It's going to be happening May 23rd to the 25th, so a day after this video is released onto YouTube. It'll be me, Pig, Loco, and Wardy commentating online. No offline commentators, guys. And yeah, just those 4 commentators as well. Rotterdam, I know people have asked, so I'm going to mention it. Rotterdam is unfortunately busy. He's in Korea right now, so he cannot cast. But yeah, it's only 4 commentators, very limited spots, and it's going to be entirely online, but we'll try and still bring the energy and the excitement because we do still have a lot of good players going to DreamHack Dallas. So the commentators are not going to be on site. We're not going to be in a big studio broadcast. It'll be from our homes. But the players are going to have to go and participate as they usually would in a LAN setting. But let's just briefly break down what's happening in Dallas without the EWC in part. So it's going to be up to 128 players, $50,000 prize pool, no invites. People have to actually get there all by themselves. Obviously, some of them have teams that are willing to send them there as well. And because of EWC and the club championships, many players have been picked up by teams who might be willing to spend some cash to send them to Dallas to get the top 4 spots at EWC. Be it that's $50,000 prize pool and EWC qualification spots are really what we're playing for. There's not going to be any point system this season because the season was like 3 months long or something, maybe even shorter. So if you do want to go to DreamHack Dallas, it's still a big convention. It does still have other esports that are going to be there too, but the commentators won't be there, and I'm not really sure how the setup is going to be for the spectator. I believe this was from last year. That would make a lot of sense in the StarCraft 2 area. But I'm not sure it's going to look like this. I really don't know. There's definitely been some other events, esports events that have happened. If you've ever been to a DreamHack or a convention like this, you'll see bigger productions and smaller productions. And sometimes there'll be an esport that you don't maybe even really recognize, but it'll have enough, it'll have like hundreds of seats available. And then maybe they also don't have commentators, but they still have a little, they get up on the stage maybe, and then they're introduced and then they leave. But it's not going to be a huge production at all. But you can still go there and you can still meet the players, watch the players, have fun meeting other StarCraft 2 fans. And I got to assume that at least the broadcast will be pumped out to the arena. But I have no idea, actually. That might not be true. The only way to watch commentary might be to go ahead and listen in on the Twitch stream. I really don't know. So I assume there'll be at least a monitor of which you can see a main stage game. But we have very little information as well on our end. So that's about all I can give you, unfortunately. So that's really the breakdown. Very quick one this time. So 4 commentators, $50,000 prize pool, no invites, and really what people are playing for the top 4 to get the EWC qualification spots. So now that we've gone over this very, very quickly, I guess we can go into, let's go into this, DreamHack Dallas on Wikipedia, because this is going to have the format. As always, if you ever want to know anything, it's Wikipedia to the rescue. So you can see here where it is, when it is, and the format that's going to be happening. Seems like a 32-player double elimination bracket. So not groups, actually. Not groups, so it is a bit different. And then a final playoffs, which will be very, very similar. And as you can see, the 4 spots here give the Esports World Cup qualification spots. But I wanted to bring this up because we do have a player list, and I think that's also something that everyone has been curious about. I certainly was about a week ago before we actually got some announcements, and then finally the actual player list. I was like, wait a second. What if not a lot of people go? That would be really weird if I'm casting up to the round of 16 with a player that I don't really recognize. But that is not actually a concern. A lot of people have ended up going to Dallas, guys. Thankfully, some support from their teams or just seeing the benefit of actually going and being able to go is working out here for all of the typical players that you would see. There are some notable names missing, I suppose, but for how condensed the season is, again, there's going to be a lot of picking and choosing. For instance, GSL is missing out on some of the foreigners in Season 2 because Season 2 of GSL goes right over this tournament. So Rainer and Trigger couldn't participate again. And then vice versa. People who are going to participate in GSL really are going to struggle to make the scheduling work to go to Dallas too, going to Korea to North America. That'd be pretty damn difficult. Some are willing to make the journey, though. Some are willing. I mean, Hero is in GSL, and he is willing. That's Gumiho Maru. That's Oh, that is insane. And then some people are even going again to the tournament in Bulgaria that is just like a week and a half, 2 weeks after this. It's crazy scheduling. But yeah, we can point out some of the notable names here. So Estrella is still playing. He's performed in a couple of show matches, not so much in the Open Cups. Got a lot of the people from GSL, surprisingly. Really, so far, everyone I'm looking at is actually qualified for GSL. So that apparently has not stopped a lot of people. Fan favorites like Harstum, lesser known but still competitive players like Jumi, some old school players like Mana, and I guess you could say SOS. He is back, but I would still, he's pretty old school. I think we also have TLO signed up. We do have TLO signed up. And a couple of the community members, too, which, this was really one of the strongest appeals about having another North America tournament, and things got awkward with COVID, and then we weren't even there one of the years, and they were not there again. And then, anyway, but Zerg Girl is going to be there, and a lot of the strong NA players who might not be able to make it full time, but are still strong part time players like Epic, Fox, or Dolan Future right there. I mean, it's actually a really good list. There's definitely a lot of names that I don't recognize who are signed up here, but it's also a very different format, and no invites and so on and so forth. So pretty cool actually seeing some of these old school names. Sasori coming out. Anyway, that's the player list. You guys can go check it out. It does look like a lot of the expected players are here. And some players we have not seen too much of recently, like a Laser, and I'm really curious as to how that is going to work out for them. Cyril obviously going, but having not really shown many games at all in the last 6 months, so that'll be interesting as well. And there you have more of the format, all the brackets, double elimination, and then into the final playoff. So a very straightforward format too. No knockout bracket, that's what it used to be called, that I have to go over and explain. So yeah, hopefully you can follow that. And then for the last parts of the video here, it's going to kind of emphasize the EWC portion of this. So top 4 players of DreamHack Dallas right there are going to be able to go to EWC. They get a qualification spot, and then they'll have their hotel and their flight paid for, and then they also get to play for a potential $700,000 prize pool, and that is happening July 22nd to July 25th. That is the weekday, by the way, which I had not checked until I got more information, let's say. But yeah, that's interesting. Not a weekend tournament. Just for everyone, I suppose, who watches this to be a little more heads up than some other people. And you can see the rest of the slot distribution. So there's the title defender, which is Clem from last year. Then you have some of these offline tournaments like I was talking about. 2 seasons of GSL. Top 1 gets to go. Hero already won GSL Season 1, so he's got that, but he's still going to Dallas, I guess. Okay. DreamHack Dallas is top 4. Bellum Gens Elite Stara Zagora, she nailed, is going to be 1. And then we also have these online qualifiers. And these online qualifiers also finally got some dates released. So we can go over to this tweet here. Online qualifiers for StarCraft 2 happening for Korea, Europe, Americas, and Asia. And they're going to be kind of like if you do watch qualifiers in StarCraft, they're very typical in that they have an open qualifier into a closed qualifier. That's pretty normal, actually, for some of these events. And so people can have 2 attempts to get into the closed qualifier. And then the closed qualifiers is, where people actually, yay, they actually made it. Yeah, woo. So you can see there's also top 2 from Korea, top 2 from Europe, top 1 from Americas, and top 1 from General Asia. I believe there's also a global one, which, interestingly enough, they did not announce the scheduling for. But yes, there is a global qualifier. So all of these region ones are going to probably be, actually StarCraft 2 region locks. You're going to have to play on Korea. If you do want to play at that time as well, it's going to be Korea timed, but you can technically, like Rainer could try if he wasn't in Korea, I guess, and you could try and play in Korea. But anyway, the global one, it's just going to be like Ferris server. Everyone's going to get in and try their damnness to finally win, but they're going to have, maybe worse ping and maybe worse hours, and it's going to be a bloodbath, but it will be happening eventually. And so that's all of the video I got for you, actually. But DreamHack Dallas is happening with StarCraft 2. Commentators will not be there. Players will be there. I don't know what the setup's going to look like at Dallas, and the broadcast itself going to be from just our individual homes. Nothing particularly fancy, although we do have a production crew with us So there'll be some, I guess, bells and whistles, but pretty basic. And then really a lot of the goal of going to DreamHack Dallas for these players is not just the $50,000 prize pool, but then also to get the top 4 EWC qualification spots. So I'll be telling that story over the weekend with Pig, Loco, and Wardy, and we'll see who makes it to the top 4 and who makes it to the winner of DreamHack Dallas. So check it out. I wish I could tell you where. I'm going to assume twitch.tv/ESL, but I actually don't know. Underscore SC2, I believe. That was the one we used to use, but I don't know if it's the one we are using. I wish I could be more helpful, but I also wish more help would come our way. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got. So pay attention to I guess social media, Reddit, Team Liquid, Liquipedia, TL Sidebar, whatever it is to try and get the skinny on where the streams are going to be happening. I believe also community casting is opening, so you might see B, C, D, E, F, G streams happening as well, but I'm also not super clear on that. So not the best breakdown of a tournament, but hopefully you got some of the vital parts of it done. So yeah, thanks for watching, and please tune in to StarCraft 2 at DreamHack Dallas, wherever it might end up. Bye guys.